The Navi Tzfanya, chapter 3, verse 20 says, at that time I will bring you in, and at that time I will gather you. For I will make you into a good name and praise among all the peoples of the earth. Here, Hashem is telling us that the Mashiach is going to gather all of the Jews from exile. And the Rambam, Paskins La'alacha and Ilchot Melachim, that this is one of the proofs of the identity of the Mashiach, where he brings all of the Jews to Israel. Whether you make Aliyah now, if you're righteous, you will live in Israel. When? Either you choose now, or you survive this by being righteous, by following the Torah. And Hashem is going to bring you first class ticket. Who's going to bring you? Mashiach. I know he's Mashiach. He's going to bring you to Israel. It's one of the conditions. The Navi Yoel in chapter 4 talked about how one of the things that Hashem is going to change in nature is that the sun will become dark and the moon will become blood red. Why is this going to be done? Says the Al-Shikh, if the people of the world will say that they have powers and stars and mazalot, and those powers will help, Hashem will destroy all of their hopes by showing them that even the moon they don't have, even the sun they don't have, and od milvado, there's nothing else but Hashem. All of the weapons, all of the magic, all of the media, all of the politics, all of that is going to be put to shame. It's all going to be one big waste of time. You need as many mitzvot as you possibly can, as much Torah, as much chesed as you possibly can. In so many words, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us through the Prophet, don't rip your clothes, rip your hearts, and do tshuva. The Prophet Isaiah says in chapter 26, in verse number 19, it talks about, may your dead come to life, may my corpses arise, awake and shout for joy, you who rest in the dirt, for your dew is like the dew that revives the vegetation. May you topple the lifeless wicked to the ground. And then the next verse talks about Gog and Magog. Go to my people, enter your rooms, and close your door behind you. Hide for a brief moment until the wrath has passed. For behold, Hashem is going forth from his place to bring punishment for the sin of the inhabitant of the world upon him. And the land will reveal its blood and no longer cover over its slain. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says it is an absolute necessity in order for the climax of the world to be reached, which is glorifying HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What should one do? We already said, learn Torah and do chesed, but he has to go to work, take care of family, pay bills. But how do I know that I'm doing enough? How do I know I'm giving enough? Giving enough of my time, giving enough of my money. First, you have to have a good relationship with your rabbi where you ask him everything. You have someone that's guiding you, not just when you feel like it or after you've already made the move and you realize it's the wrong move. You know, like some people say, Rabbi, should I make a blessing on this? And then they show you the wrapper after the food is already eaten. Rabbi, do you think I should move to this place after they've already packed the bags and they are already on the way? Don't have one of those. Having a relationship with a rabbi means that everything and anything that's necessary, you're talking to the rabbi, you're not overconfident in your own decision making. And people don't realize how important that is until they make mistakes and then they ask for help. They don't realize that if they'd have asked for help before they made the move, they wouldn't have needed to ask for help later. So a person needs to learn, do, but they have to have somebody that's going to tell them if they're doing enough. And if they're not, they'll obviously change. But how much is enough? Shlomo HaMelech says in Kohelet, Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, verse number 10, whatever you are able to do with your might, do it. For there's neither doing nor reckoning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave where you are going. How much is enough? As much as you can possibly give of yourself, as much as you can possibly give of your time, as much as you can possibly give of your money, as much as you can possibly give of your effort. How much is enough? As much as you can possibly do. Whatever strength you have, do it. Why? After you die, after time's up, the only thing you're going to have regret about is not whether you ate more ice cream or not, or whether you built more buildings or not, or whether you spent more time going to the pool or not. The only thing you're going to have regret about is whether you used the tools that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you to the full potential or not. Because that's what you're going to see. You see, listen, look at all the tools you had. You had $550,000 in your retirement account, but you did not use it to do kiruv because you were afraid to, maybe you're not going to have money when you're retired at 65. In 30 years from now, who said you're going to live to 65? Who promised you 65? Who promised you next week? Who promised you today? You didn't give that shiur because you were tired. You didn't read that book because you wanted to read the newspaper. Tools like HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you, you're going to see. This is what I gave you. This is what you could have done. You could have been the Gdol Ador in your community, the Gdol Ador in your city. You could have been the one that helped feed 500 Avrichim every month. You could be responsible to feed thousands of neshamot if you'd have simply used the tools that I gave you, but you didn't. So what do you have for it? You have 3 cars, you have 5 houses, you have 30 watches, a substantial stock portfolio, 3 companies, 5 apps, 3 ex-wives, and 1 current wife, kids with many of them and others that no one knows about. And guess what? None of that will help you now. Yeah, but I have my name on the Beit Knesset. Yeah, that also doesn't help you. Look at the tools you got, you use them. That's why Chaim says, if you're worried about personal, there's no decision, there's no discussion. But if you're worried about what the Prophet is saying, if you're worried about what Torah is saying, if you're worried about Kavod Hashem, the honor of Hashem, you're worried about things that are actually eternal, then you have to ask yourself whether you have done everything you possibly can with all of the tools that you have. Because that's what Shlomo HaMelech is saying. Whatever you're able to do with your might, do it. If you can work an extra hour, or able to learn an extra hour, learn. If you're able to help more, whatever you can do, do more. That's why in the world of Torah, it's constantly compared to business. Rabbi Akiva says Hashem runs the world like a business. Why? Because you're supposed to run your life in Torah as a business. Constantly look for higher goals. If you want to succeed in business, you have to constantly shoot for higher goals. The biggest failures in the world are usually people that have a to-do list that ends at some point, where they have 10 things, and once they get there, they check it, and they check the next one, and they're looking forward to finishing the to-do list. Those are usually people that are the biggest losers in the world. Why? They're looking to finish. The biggest winners, you know who they are? They're the ones that never finish a to-do list. You know why? They finished that one, but they already have 2 more other things. They finished 3 more, but they have 4 other things. Each time they finish, there's already more to be added. There is no finish. That's why they're a success, because they keep going from chai to chai, from place to place to do more. Completing the shas is a stepping stone, meaning you finish the shas to do what? So you can do it again. Okay, so after you do it again, what do? You do it again. And after you do it again, what do? You do it again. Okay, fine. After you do it 100 times, what do? 101. What's the question? Chumash, you finished it. What do you do after that? You do it again. Why? Because every single time you do it, you have to get even higher. It's not just learning it again. It's learning it anew, learning it differently, learning it with a new perspective, learning it with new knowledge, learning it with new siyata d'ishmaya. And when a person sees what Shlomo HaMelech says and realizes, wait, this is the smartest man that ever lived. He's saying something that seems like common sense. Whatever you're able to do with all your might, do it. But in reality, it seems like a simple statement until you realize, wait, he's the smartest man of all. If you understand what is being said here, that means that we have to evaluate ourselves on a regular basis to constantly shoot for more. Why? Because every day you have new strengths that you did not have yesterday. You have new information, you have new bank account, you have new money, you have new friends, you have new contacts, you have new customers. You have more than you did yesterday. Are you using all of that to glorify Kadosh Baruch Hu's name? Sometimes people think, wait, if I already donate as much as I can, so what else can I do? Get other people to donate. Be a fundraiser to help more people do tshuva. Make events. There's, in so many words, make an analysis of whatever powers Hashem gave you and see, am I using all of these powers to the fullest potential? Don't think that any one thing is off limits. Why? Hashem says, everything that I made to glorify my name. Everything needs to be used. Everything can be used to glorify Hashem's name. Sometimes a person thinks that it's all about my own personal resources, because the only regret you're going to have is what you didn't use. That's what Resh Lakish was crying about in the Gemara, where it says that after he was coming to the end of his days, he was crying because he had a little vegetable left. What are you crying about the vegetable? No, you're not understanding. I didn't use all my resources. I missed. If I missed this, maybe I missed something else too. If a person uses all of their resources to the fullest potential, they're the busiest person in the world. Yes, they're working, but they have 2 jobs. They have the job that gets money to pay the bills and pay employees and whatever it is, and then there's the other job. What? Publicizing Hashem's name. How do they know that they're doing good? If the blessings that come from publicizing Hashem's name help the other one also. I think the conclusion of all of it is that everyone is scared of Gog Magog. Deniers of it obviously have to deal with a whole lot of verses in the Torah that they'll have to somehow prove wrong. They'll have to prove all of the sages, all of the Gemara, all of the Mishnah, all of the Zohar, everything that's said wrong pretty much. Pretty much it's a new Torah. So we see that this Gog Magog has to happen. And just like birth, it will happen, but eventually you have a nice cute baby. That's the fundamental truth. Now that I have that information, what do I do? Is this information just going to go to the back burner, that I know this is going to happen, but nothing is going to change about my life? Or am I going to take this and act? Do something. Check the blessings, check the curses, check the time management, check the Torah learning. Everybody has to check. As far as preparation for some war, by building yourself some bunker, buying yourself a gun, moving to Israel, moving to wherever, none of that stuff's going to help you. If you become the most informed person on every news network on planet Earth in the history of mankind, it will not help you. Knowledge of weapons of mass destruction will not help you. Being part of the army will not help you. Being able to fly a jet plane will not help you. Having survival skills will not help you. Why? Gog and Magog is a war unlike anything else. There is no way to prepare for it physically. Spiritually, Financially, on the other hand, plenty of things. Torah, milut chasadim. Make sure you're following and learning as much Torah as you can, and make sure you're helping as many people as you possibly can in any way that you can, whether it's spiritually to help them do tshuva, or financially to help them eat, whatever opportunities you have, grab them, because that's the only preparation that is going to be useful in the days ahead. So, Bezrat Hashem, we all succeed in preparing ourselves well for the big, awesome day of Hashem, and Bezrat Hashem, may we succeed so much that other people will do it too, because true success creates a chain effect where other people want to follow suit, other people want to do the same thing. One of the best signs of success is competition. When you have competition, somebody goes into your field, somebody replicates you. You did one thing, they replicate the same thing. It's a good sign. You're succeeding, that you're going in the right direction. So if your kiruv is working, if your Torah is working, it's also going to create others that want to do the same thing. You have to use all of your efforts, all of the things you possibly can to glorify Kadosh Baruch Hu's name.